Yes, 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 yes. Hmm. Right, man. Having some audio problems there. Yes, 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 man. Always remember whatever you think about comes about. Whatever you focus on grows. Let me know you can hear me on YouTube. That was weird. Might have been delayed on my end. Hey, big shout out to the folks I met yesterday. Met some followers yesterday. Uh, Now friends. I had a good time hanging out with them, celebrating Carnival in New Orleans. Um, One gentleman stopped in just to see me, so that was pretty cool, man. And had good conversation. It's fun to meet people that are into the money flow. Originally, when I was using that concept, the term the money flow, it really wasn't about stocks so much. It was just the buckets and how I saw the flow of money and where you should allocate it. But as I spent years studying stocks and honing my just the way that I saw the market. Let's move this here, man. Hopefully you can see me on YouTube. As I'd watch the market move, and I began to write about it, and I just began to call it the money flow. The basic philosophy of the money flow is that the market moves in four stages. And recently, if you were in Discord, I did a little class on short selling. Short selling it's a complicated thing for people. It really becomes it can be really difficult to be long and short. And we were kind of talking about that. And I was using Ford as the example of how price moved in stages. And that if we watch it close enough, we can kind of identify the stages, or at least what we think are the stages. And we know with charting, this is a stock chart. I've used charts most of my life. This is a chart of Ford. And, through there, like a lot of people, when you first start looking at charts, you don't know what you're looking at, and you're reading this and you're reading that, and you're going with this. And then as you go forward in life, you're going to start kind of like an onion. You're going to lay layers of knowledge on top of what you already know. And everything you're going to learn, you're going to have learned it from someone else. Very rarely do we come up with completely unique, totally unique ideas. It's not even necessary. If you've ever read the book, The Science of Getting Rich, I'm starting a new series on that on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify. The intro for this year is on there. I'm going to try to record part one today. And it's 17 parts, books made of 17 chapters. And he makes a point that a lot of this stuff is just repetitive. And this movement of price of Ford we see is this pattern here. And as I watch it, I can give me clues to how I might want to execute, and I can make that into a repeatable pattern. And then all I got to do is, be disciplined enough and have faith enough and stick with the strategy. And that's how I use it. And this was our example. And part of the money flow is that whatever price is doing, it's going to keep doing until it doesn't do it anymore. Very much like Newton's law of motion. What's in motion tends to stay in motion until it's hit with a force of equal or greater, and then it stops it and often turns it. And that's what we see in the money flow. And I try to identify those points as I watch price flow, and I call those apex points. And I think I've only recently been using that term. Where are we at here, bro? Oh, that term, apex. We're live on YouTube and Instagram. But this idea of an ape, meaning the price tops out, and the idea of an anchor point where price bottoms. Now, these are organic, meaning they're alive, they're changing, it's moving. Price flows. It flows too high, it flows too low. It's not often based on logic. And if you try to approach it with logic, you're going to be confused. Said an F-bomb. I did not. What's up, Major? Jared? Met some money flowers yesterday. That's always fun. 3. One, two just met on the street. That's always fun too. We talked about this. And so much like over here where I said I was trying to find the apex, which is the highest point where price turns. And now this is always with past meaning we don't know that day that was the day. Like we didn't know that day. And this is where we get into patterns. When we're looking at charts as technicians, we're looking for patterns. Your pattern may be different than mine. I'm looking at things in sense of bars. Each one of these bars here, this is a bar, not a candlestick. They give you the same information: high, low, close, open. We need 4 pieces of information. That's called data. Each day we get a data set, which is 1 day on this candle. But here's the thing. It's fractal, man. You could change the time frame: 15 minute, 1 minute, 5 minute, 1 week, 1 month. It's a fractal in nature. Well, so is trading. You could buy 1 share, 10 shares, 100, 1,000, 10,000, a million. And it's unlimited. And so this game you play is unlimited. Now your thinking is very fucking limited. 11:21. Me and you place all kinds of limits on what we can do. My desk is too small. From chaos to cash, the mechanics of time in the market to accumulate wealth. The stock market goes up as much as 71% of the time. The problem is it's not a straight line. What that means there is, man, this Ford chart was a beauty. If you were in Discord with me, I hope you went and looked at that lesson on shorting, because it was a perfect lesson. You got to sit in a perfect one. It worked picture perfect. And what we talked about is the S&P 500 is the wind, meaning the direction of the S&P 500 index is the direction of where price is going. It don't care what you think. You can guess. You can say, oh, I think it's going to go here. I think it's going to go there. Nobody gives a shit. You just made that up. You have no idea. If you only knew 3 times, you'd be a billionaire. This is the power of this game, man. So be careful when you meet people with certainty. It's like, really? If you're so goddamn certain and good, why aren't you a billionaire? So he don't know either. It's easy to talk. What we don't know is we don't know, man. I don't know if it's going up or down, but I do know what patterns look like. And I know when it tends to be on this side of the 20-day moving average, it tends to move up until it stops. And a lot of times when it stops, you're going to see this indicator up here do what it does. And as we lay these together, a couple different things, we don't want to make it complicated, but it gives us a repeatable pattern because price moves. It runs up, it runs down, it runs up. Watch. If we were to break this down, let's take this to a 15-minute chart on the S&P. Come on, man. Uh-oh. Look what happens now. Now the RSI is extreme, right? What typically happens? I mean, we don't have to be geniuses. Let's put it on here. Put it where it hit it. Put it where it hit it. Put it where it hit it. And then go down and look. Yeah, man. Looks like bottoms, right? Yeah, looks like tops. And we ain't even digging in. We're just throwing hand grenades here, just in general. But here's one it kept running. And so we see what? This movement of price. This is a 15-minute. What do you see? It went up, and then what? It went sideways, right? It went down. What did it do? It went sideways. It went down, and then went sideways, and it went up. Give it? That's this. That's price movement, man. Fractal. The fractal's a never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. They are created by repeating a simple process over and over again in an ongoing feedback loop. Now, this is a daily chart of Ford. It looks very similar, right? Fractals are created by repeating a simple process over and over again in an ongoing feedback loop. Listen up, all the kids in the back, all the weed smokers, listen. Driven by recursion, Write that word down. Fractals are images of dynamic systems. Pictures of chaos. Chaos to cash. This is chaos. This is about making order out of the chaos that is what Monday morning will bring, meaning it'll open. And then on CNBC, a bunch of people will be trying to tell you they think they know something. You don't know shit. If you didn't know shit, you wouldn't even have a job. Like, why would you even be working on here? So remember that when you listen to them, they probably don't know. But they got to make up something. So when the stock market goes from here to here, they need to have a reason, a story. And it's like, okay. Or that's a stage 3. And the price is, of course, it's going sideways, dummy. The RSI went extreme. And then it's going to pull back. But he needs a reason, man. We don't need a reason. See, the chart is in a window to the soul, like we can see into the stock. And if you were to watch this stock every day, what if you watch this every day? Look at the SPY every day. Here's what's crazy. This will open every day of your life. Think about that. On the days you don't make it, they still open the stock market. Nobody goes, hey, is Jed here? Oh, he ain't? All right, we're going to wait till he gets here. They don't give a fuck, bro. 11:26. So what that means is all you got to do is show up. So look at this. What do we see here? If this is my pattern, every day, by the way, on Monday it's going to open. And if this pattern flows, and I know they're going to be there, all I got to do is be there. Right? And if I'm trying to draw that pattern, and you said, Gerald, what do you think of this stock? All right, let me look at it. Now, if I tell you what it is, people form an opinion. And it's like, no, don't have an opinion. Look at the chart. Because this don't move based on logic. Your brain's going to try to make logic of it. You're going to be like, well, and you're going to try to make sense of it. That's not how stocks move, man. They might one day, eventually, all the stock's doing is looking for equilibrium. It's just trying to find true value, man. The money flow trading system is a trend following strategy that hopes to capture uptrends and avoid or downsize, or maybe for crazy people, short and capitalize on down moves depending upon your goals, meaning it's going to do what it does. The strategy is based on the belief that price moves in 4 stages and that 71% of the time the market is drifting higher. Technical indicators are heuristic or mathematical calculations based on price. Listen up. Oh, you guys didn't fucking pay attention in math? Go look at the calculation on this. If you had to calculate it, you'd never use it. Go look at this. This is a blessing, man. The idea that we get these, what these tell us, what this golden line tells you. Don't take it for granted, man. A lot of people take it for granted. What this means. What this means. Just go look at it, man. Look what happens when the RSI goes extreme. You know, is it perfect? No, but it's pretty damn close. You're like, what do you mean? Look, that was the room for error. You get it? Like, that was it, man. That's not a big window. So if we can have a tool or something that just... Now, you might not be there. I don't know where you're at or where I'm at. It's not waiting on us. This is going to do it every day. RSI doesn't wait for you to fucking calculate it. If we waited on you, shit, we'd never get anything done. You know any friends like that? God damn, if I wait on you, fuck, we'll be broke. Meaning we got to be self-motivated. You got to be motivated. I can't motivate you. I can inspire you. You got to motivate you, man. So when you look at this every fucking day, like you should be looking at this so much, people are like, dude, stop looking at your phone. What are you doing? Man, I'm looking at the SPY, man. Man, I walk around looking at Bitcoin. I told that when I met those people the other day before I went in, I had to stop. I had to buy $20 in Bitcoin. Why? It's a stage 1, man. How fickle we can be. You're like, What do you mean? Yeah, man, we're buying Bitcoin, man. Why wouldn't we be? Did you get scared? But Gerald, the price went down. All right, man. Where's my book, man? Now listen to me, man. The reason we call this Money Flow Sunday service is it's serious. Like church. Take this shit serious or leave. Right? Nobody wants the guy at church who's half fat. He's like, man, you smell like you just got drunk. You're at church. Hey, at least I'm here, man. We were trying to get you right on your money, man. So on Spotify and iTunes, this is a big part of it, man. To be a student of the money flow means in the bad times, baby. You have faith in the bad times, man. That's the only way it works. You know that, right? The only way it works if I can identify this move down. And if I have some way to alert, it might be bottoming. All right, cool. I don't have to get it fucking perfect. I didn't buy here. I didn't buy here. I didn't buy, okay, it's pretty damn close. So when people tell me you can't buy bottoms, bullshit, I buy all of them. All of them. You can't buy bottoms. I can. You tell them that. And you go, what do you mean? You just got to watch it, man. So as I'm watching price, damn, some of you eat the same stock every day. You're up in there in Kohl's spending money, buying your kids shit. Let's look at Kohl's. Man, how are you going to go into a building and you don't pull up the stock on your phone? You're not into money flow if you go into a building and there's a stock ticker and you don't fucking look. 1131, curse word. Meaning if you're in Kohl's and you didn't notice this, send my book back, man. I can't help you. Chapter 17 in the summary of the Science Get Rich says there's a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. Now listen to this. A thought in this substance. Don't let that confuse you, man. It's just poetic language. A thought in this substance. What substance? What do you mean substance? A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. Meaning God just spoke it. Hey, I got a thought. And then that's how it starts. One day you have a thought. Your daddy thought, I like your mama. And you were conceived from a thought. If the thought didn't happen, you didn't happen. And that's everything in your life. Good thoughts, bad thoughts. And the ones you hold, Science Getting Rich says, hold in formless substance. You're like, what is that? Don't let that confuse you, man. That's that place you don't know about. You don't understand it. Like, I don't know. Fuck that. Whoever's listening, that's that space. And wherever that is. It's the way the universe is ordered, man. The things that you hold in thought, whether good or bad, you will get them. So if I watch Kohl's every day, and the lady says, I need me some Kohl's reward points. No, man, you need some Kohl's shares. Fuck some reward points. You need shares, man. This pays a 7.5% dividend yield. What if I had a way to know that it was undervalued and that it had stopped dropping? It would be like a crystal ball. If my thing would draw. All right now, come on, GP. You do have a crystal ball. You got me, man. You're just making mofos rich and they're too busy to listen. Some people are too busy to listen. Some of my own friends can't listen. They're too goddamn busy. I get richer every day and they're like, oh, I'm so busy. Going about their life. I'm just growing richer every day. Every day, go look on my story today. I posted Pepsi gave me $127. I didn't do a fucking thing. 11:33. Nothing. Did Pepsi give you money yesterday? No, because you didn't ask them to. All you got to do is go ask them and then buy it. That's it, man. So tell me if this doesn't look like it went sideways. Now, we call this a box when we get into advanced charting. I need about 12 hours to dump on you what I know. To read charts, to understand the fractal nature of price movement, the 4 stages, the apex, the anchor point, the breakout, how to find value. So we're going to shortcut it right now. If I come over here and type this in, don't make it more complicated than it has to be. And I click Kohl's. It's raining, man. I'm losing my internet connection, man. Don't shout me down, man. It's a 5-star, and I'm basically, if it's a 5, it's super undervalued. If it's a 1, it's overvalued. You're like, Gerald, I don't understand stocks. It's a 5 or a 1. Get it? You're like, yeah, but I know this basketball team. Then you know 5 or 1. Ain't complicated. I can make your grandma a stock expert if she'd stop talking and listen and then just go with it. So come over here and I type it in. What does it say? Significantly undervalued. All right, now we're speaking my language. And then I go look and they pay a dividend. I'm like, let me understand this. It's undervalued by 50%. I don't know where you went to school, but where I go, that's half price. I'm like, hold on. I can buy a company for half price and you're going to pay me 7% on my money? Yeah. So if you gave us 100 G's, we'll give you 7,000 a year. No phone calls, no customers, nothing to do. You just own it. And what if it goes up? Your 100 goes up. So what if it goes back to true value? That would make your 100 150. That'd make your 1,000 1,500. It's fractal in nature, man. You might say, well, I don't know how to play. You don't need to know. Like once you understand charts, you can read this. It's a window into the soul of the stock market, man. Let's drop this down, man. Remember we said it was fractal? This is a daily chart. You should get my chart, my course, Getting Started with Stock Charts. This week, we're going to start a new series on the science of getting rich on iTunes and Spotify. We did the intro yesterday. We're going to be talking about, we're going to start with the end, man. Sometimes you got to start with the end. You can't get to where you're going if you don't know what it looks like. So we're going to start with the end in mind, man. Now, Science of Getting Rich says a person that can take his leisure time. Let me read something to you. Some of you guys think, oh, I think you should work all the time. Not really. The man who wishes to get, now when he wrote this was 1905, ladies. When he says man, he means you too, okay? So when I say bro, I mean you too. Don't correct me either. The man who wishes to get rich must spend his leisure hours in contemplating his vision and in earnest thanksgiving that the reality is being given to him. What do you mean? That's walk as if and talk as though, meaning shit ain't happened yet, but you're thankful. Too much stress cannot be laid upon the importance of frequent contemplation. I could have made an inappropriate joke there. I'm going to try to stop doing that this year. I had a lady call me a chauvinist. I was like, no, it was just a joke. Contemplation of the mental image coupled with unwavering faith and devout gratitude. And we know as we break down the science of getting rich, it's gratitude is part of the process. In other words, I'm grateful that I have these indicators. A guy asked me on a podcast, Gerald, what's your most valuable possession? And I'm like, wow, interesting. I'm not a possessions guy, really. I mean, I like to say I'm not. I guess I am. Everyone is to some extent. I'm pretty fond of my homestead in Texas. You know, I grew up in a trailer park, guys. I was poor. This is the money flow, by the way. This is the movement of price on coals. Today's church, which means we don't care about your tickers or your questions. It's just listen. And the purpose of church is just to inspire, man. Everybody's got the Bible. You're reading the same book as the preacher. He's just trying to remind you about it. That's all. And as these patterns tighten up on, and this is what I'm going to show you. Let's say you're into short-term trading. Good. When you see this go sideways and you're able to interpret the money flow, you drop that time down. You know there's a breakout coming. You're going to catch it on the lower time frames, the time continuum. Time times amount times yield, man. I try to get as down and dirty with time as I can because it's such an important concept. You'll hear me sometimes on Instagram and YouTube. People are like, yeah, Gerald, you fucking time. You're saying shit all. But it's so important, man. Time. Once you understand time, holy shit. When you understand what time does, you'll be like, I need another house. I need another house. I need another house. I need another stock. Can I get another $100? Like, hey, I need more, man. When you don't understand time, you're worried about what might happen. Man, it ain't what might happen. It's what the fuck is not happening. Do you get it? There's a difference. So here's Kohl's. If we drop this down and you've been stalking it and you understand the money flow, which I hope most of my friends do. If you understand the money flow and we're on that daily chart, we're looking for the setup, baby. We're looking for the setup, man. And so as we're watching now what am I looking for? If I'm looking for the stage 1 on a daily, I'm looking for the RSI go extreme on the lower time frame. Then I'm just looking for my bars and for price to get above the 5, right? Then I can short-term trade it, man. Does that make sense? This one wasn't a perfect chart, but it eventually ran and tagged it. Tricky in here. But depending on how we finessed it, this may have turned into 3 trades right here. All because you're watching this on the daily. I just made this one up. Here's the problem. You got scatterbrain. One minute you're watching calls, next minute you're fucking with snap. You're all over the place, man. When it comes to trading, all you guys that want to quote trade, like say you want to make money this week trading, you better limit what you're looking at, man. You better know what the fuck you're going to trade come Monday morning. If you don't, go back to the board, man. The purpose of the money flow in my book is so that you understand this. When you understand this, you know what's up, man. Then it's just a matter of reading and looking at the markets. Don't overcomplicate it, man. Pick a stock and trade that shit. One stock, man. Know it better than you know yourself. Know it like you know it, man. Meaning, look at it on the 15. Look at it on the hourly. Watch it on a day. Look at every fuck. Like, it doesn't post a day without you seeing it. You already know what the close is going to be. Like, you're looking at it every day. Day in, day fucking out. And you're like, well, I'm bored. It ain't. So what? Keep looking at it. And guess what happens? You're going to catch every run, every breakout. Or miss them. That's an option. So we've been buying this stock. You say, what's your time frame? For me, it's this. When this says this thing is fairly valued, trade done. When's this happen? I don't know. God's time, not my time. What's my time? My time is this. When it comes down, I add here. When it comes down, I add here. On that play, that's how I'm doing it. Why? Because this pays me 7% to do that. So I can wait. So all I want to do is just buy more when it's really low. Like when it does that one I probably would have missed. These are what I'm trying to buy, man. Notice these. Notice something about them? They're all basically in the same price. Yeah, no shit, because it's really undervalued. And it's trading below this golden line. 90 whatever percent of the time, if you see something below this, if you can actually go find its value, almost always it's going to say undervalued. Meaning you could probably get away and not even have a subscription to most of this shit. Like here it says Kohl's significantly undervalued at 50% discount. Lacking competitive edge, no moat, Kohl's struggles to regain stability. No moat rebounded from the Kohl, like blah, blah, blah. We can go read all that. You know what? It's below this. That could be all you know. That's why I said I could teach you grandma about stocks. The problem is it gets harder because then you're like real fucking logical. You start adding all kinds of shit that doesn't mean anything that you've made up in your head that you think is important. Your grandma didn't need to know that. All your grandma needed to know was Amgen's below the 200-day and it went sideways, set up for a stage 1. I think I'll buy some. And then with unwavering faith, going forward, day after day, boom, I just keep doing that. And I spread it out. And guess what? I know what happens. It's rigged, man. Look at the S&P. It's rigged, man. Look. Here's the daily breaking out, by the way. Close my shorts. You go, well, what if it goes the other way, Gerald? Well, I guess we got to put the shorts back on. Like, that's called fucking trading. So part of trading is whipsaws, getting moved. Like, it's going one way, then it goes the next, man. That's trading, right? And so if we broke this down, what if we were on a 15-minute? Look at this run, man. I thought you were trading. If you're trading, hey, this is here every day, guys. This here is here every day. So every day, I have people say, well, what are you looking at? And the guy said, well, I want to be a trader. Do you? then watch it, man. I mean, these tops and bottoms look pretty obvious to me. Does that not look obvious to you? And if we have these as indicate, like this is 15 minutes because it's fractal. So sometimes I meet people and they say they want to trade. And it's like, do you? Then trade. This is playing every day. You know, so but guess what? Like you're like, well, that's $389. Well, do the U Pro, man. What's the U Pro? Here's the U Pro. It's $34. Let's put it on a thing. Look at that move. It went from $32. That's your stage 2 breakout, by the way, right? And ran it to what? 34. That was in one day. RSI go extreme. Yep. It's the money flow, man. It's this. Now, the reason you didn't catch that, either you're not that short term, which maybe you're on a daily, which if you remember, we added to our leverage positions and then we closed our short position and now it's breaking out, right? Does it keep going? I don't know, but that's what it does when it does it. So my opinion doesn't matter. It is what it is. So if I'm trading this, then it's just this. That's what it is. It's going up. You're like, why? I don't know. Because it is. People are buying it, man. Well, the volume is pretty low and it's a holiday. Okay, but it's still going up, man. Nobody at the bank says, was that a low volume breakout or a high volume? Nobody asks you that shit. That's just stuff they talk about on Twitter, man. But at the bank, they don't care. They don't care, man. Let's see. Don't worry. Like, there you go. You came to church and you're asking me about stocks, man. Be quiet. Don't worry about stocks, man. Your stocks are stupid. We're in church. If you know this, you know your stock. You know where it is. Let's see. Money flow uses the 5-day exponential average, the 10-day exponential average, the 20-day simple moving average, support and resistance, and the MACD. On the MACD, I use TSI because I'm fond of it, and I'm a little sentimental. The MACD, if you notice, I don't have the crossover. I don't use the crossover. I don't use the crossover. Trying to catch it before the crossover. What I'm using the MACD for is momentum. Price starts going sideways, that's called resistance. You need a couple bars to know that, right? We don't need a couple bars to know the apex point, which is the highest point of that move. We know what that is because the next day it's lower. Meaning we knew that was the day because the next day was lower. Once it's lower, I can start drawing it. And then if it just fills it in, it fills it in. So buy over here, we're pretty sure this is a stage 3. We don't know how far they go. Pretty small. Up move was pretty small. Sideways move pretty small. Stage 4 down pretty small. Sideways move what? Pretty small. And now what? We're breaking out. I don't know, man. That looks a lot like this. Same shit I was telling you 4 years ago. It looks a lot like it. But if you don't look at it, you're not going to see it. So as charters, that ain't a word. Chartist, ladies. You're a chartist. A technician. That's what we're using charts for, is to try to understand this. But this, it's really about value. Is Cole's undervalued? Yes, significantly undervalued. Paying a dividend, trading below the 200. I can get paid to ride the money flow. And I might want to be a trader on it. If I'm wanting to be a trader on this, I'm dropping the time frame down. And the goal is to get paid. You ride it up, RSI hits, you take money off, man. That's trading. Same with the S&P 500. You should watch that every day, man. Watch the SPY, man. A lot of times people ask me what to trade. It's like, fuck, dude, open your eyes. Trade this, like the S&P opens every day. You know, pick a couple stocks if you want to trade them and trade them. Stay with them, man. Stay with them. You know, it's not just stay with them. Stay on top of it. So one that I follow a lot, and I get it. Not everybody can do that. But this is one we follow too, right? This is oil. It's double leverage oil. Like follow it every day. Be ready. Be ready. You know, utility stocks is one we follow every day. These are easy to trade, man. So as I watch the money flow, what are we seeing here? If we just draw this on utilities, what are we seeing? We got our stage one. There's our apex point, right? And our sideways. So as we're looking at this, it's 1, 2, 3. Possible push-ups. Maybe it wants to break and run. Has it ever been here before? If we look left, yep. So it could go there again. All it's got to do is work this RSI off, right? Now, what I would like to see is that it pulls all the way down. So as I watch this every day, what I'm hoping to see is it pull down. And that would what? That would be the pattern. And then what? I would expect it to then go sideways and set up for what? Another run higher. And so the faster I want that pattern to play out would control my time frame, man. The man or woman who wishes to get rich must spend their leisure time contemplating the vision and in earnest thanksgiving that the reality is being given to them. Too much stress cannot be laid upon the importance of frequent contemplation of the mental image coupled with unwavering faith and devout gratitude. This is the process which by the impression is given to the formless substance and the creative forces set in motion. Creative energy works to establish channels of natural growth and industrial and social order. All that is included in his mental image will surely be brought to the man or woman who follows the instructions given above. Dig into that with me, man, if you like mindset stuff. I think you're going to have a hard time trading if you don't think a lot. Like focus on your thoughts, man. That podcast, the guy asked me, what's your most valuable possession? And I was telling him, it's this right here, man. For me, I could say a home, my house in Texas, here. It's not, no, man. It's this. Stock charts, man. This. You know, this game. So look at Southern for a second. This is the game I'm talking about. And we see these big sweeping moves, right? And if you remember, we were taking some down in the MFG, and we were trimming some of our utility stocks. Southern was trading at like the $78 range. Well, when you come over here, and we've been in this for a while, building these. We own a bunch of these. Look what it says. 2 stars. Southern is overvalued and trading at a premium. Fair value, $67. We were selling this shit in the $78 range. Not all of it. Taking some down because the gain we could take off there was going to be more than dividends being paid out over the next year, 2 years, most likely. And when this RSI goes extreme and that stock is trading at a premium, all right, this is where you can use the brain God gave you, not in some crazy fearful way, but in a logical way. It's like, okay, this is actually overpriced. Do I think it's going to keep going? It could. Maybe you're like, fuck, man, this is a runaway. This is like a meme stock. But this is a utility company. Is there a precedent for that? And if we back up and let's say we look at the weekly chart, back it up, man. It's fractal, right? $78 is the highest this stock has ever been. Okay, let's back it up to the monthly. $78 was the highest this stock had ever been. And it's trading at a premium. It's not a growth stock, guys. Southern Electric, a utility company. And people ask me, but how do you pick stocks, Gerald? And it's like, you turned the fucking lights on, didn't you? 11:54. Like, what if you became aware, man? From the moment you wake up, you're interacting with the stock market. You'll turn the water on. They got water companies. You're like, shit, man. Brush my teeth. Yeah. Procter & Gamble, Colgate, bunch of other people. Damn, how many stocks you need to use in a day to be like, I don't know what to buy, man. I know, man. Open your eyes. See, the money flow is not just this, man. Money flows all around you. Then you go get something to drink. Shit, I was drinking some, I met some followers last night and they were buying me beers. I'm not going to buy them. Fuck, if we meet, you're buying them. By the way, sometimes I meet a follower and they don't pay. Like, why didn't you buy it, man? Some young men, you got to teach them lessons. They don't know, man. They're awkward. Their parents didn't work with them very well. Some people are raised in an orphanage or by wolves and shit. Like they don't know, man. It's up to us to help them out. Look at this. So this is tap. So this is what we were drinking last night. If we own tap and the RSI went extreme and it was $55, and we came over here to our friends that we pay money to let us to do research for us. This is my team here. This is my team. We might pay for a couple places. Come on, man. About to fire them. Come on, man. My internet is pouring down raining here. Oh, man. They still got it undervalued. TAP is undervalued at 24% discount. God damn, we were drinking beer and it's on sale, man. So if we look over here, all right, let's pull it up on a daily. It's pulling back. It's under the 200. Man, this looks like an easy trade, man. Then what? Let's check do we got an anchor point? Yeah. How many days we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and we got some support. We could almost say we're back in the box, man. You're like, but Gerald, how do we pick stocks? Man, you drank the beer with me last night. God damn, how much closer do we got to get? I got to come to your house and rub your shoulders? Technical indicators are heuristic and mathematical calculations based on price, volume, and open interest of a security or contract used by traders, in other words, called technical analysis. By analyzing historical data, technical analysts use indicators to predict the future. So what we do is we're trying to do that and try to understand value. So as you expand the stocks you're looking at, you need to understand the value of the company. And then once we understand the value of the company, it can help us interpret this right here, man. Right? So sometimes we're holding trades in our hand, man. The Bible says we entertain angels unaware. Does that make sense? Hey, D. Hey, Dan. I think Anthony's coming. Sorry, guys. What company is this? It don't even matter, Daisy. Stop. You're in church. Don't listen. That don't matter. I'm trying to give you the keys to the kingdom. You can look at any stock. You'll be like, Apex Point, Stage 1, Breakout, Target, Stage 3, RSI went extreme. It's undervalued by X dollars, sets up on an anchor point. Now it's going sideways back into box, fixing a breakout. We're checking the MACD for momentum. Yeah, well, they brought the food. I thought it was I was trying to do it without interrupting here. Okay, sorry. Stochastics breakout. So if we go look, what is this? Just the 4 stages of price movement, man. We're holding it in our hand. Let's say we drop this down. You're like, but does this work with options, Gerald? I trade options. Okay, let's see. Drop it down a little lower. Oh, look at that, man. Holy sheep shit. Look at this. While you're out drinking beer with GP, we're talking about stocks. The damn beer we're holding does the money flow, man. You're welcome. All around you. Look at this. Look how it bangs at 200, bangs to 200, bangs to 200. We talk about this all the time. I'm sorry, I thought he was. Look at the RSI we're talking about. Extreme low, extreme high, extreme low, extreme high. And we know what to do when it hits it. We take our profits. right? That's this. My God, man. I get pumped up, man. I'm fired up, man. Open the stock market. Tired of sitting at home on the weekends. I hate the fucking weekend. Open the market. That's me, man. But I'm obsessed. Guy asked me, man, how'd you get $1 million in the stock market? I like it. Huh? That's real original. I like stocks. Duh. Like, sit and think on this. People, well, how'd you do that? I like them. What do you mean? I like them. How'd you get so many houses? I like houses. I like stocks, man. So I buy stocks. I love dividends. Fucking love them. 12 p.m. I love them. I love it. Nothing makes me happier. First thing I do in the morning, did I get a dividend? Ooh, look at that. And then I go, where's the Dow? Where's oil? Right? And because I do that every single day, guess what happens? I get more of that shit right out of the Science of Getting Rich. Listen, there's a thinking stuff from which all things are made and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing imagined by the thought. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, man must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. Otherwise, he cannot be in harmony. Jesus said, where two or more are gathered. There's something about that. In other words, you got to be in harmony with formless substance, which is always creative and never competitive. We're going to be digging into that today on the Science of Getting Rich podcast. It's very integrated into what I teach here, and the reason I try to make it, it's a pun, obviously, joke of Money Flow Sunday service. But for me, it's every week I need to reevaluate. What is my strategy? What is my purpose? What am I trying to do? What is my goal this week? Like, that's goal setting. And so if you come, I don't think I posted today's. It's carnival season. Let's see. And I'm older and richer, so I move a little slower. You 30-year-olds shouldn't be at carnival very long. You should only be here about 2 days, 3 days, then take your ass back to work. Oh, you guys in your 30s on vacation. No wonder you're broke, man. You spend half the fucking time on vacation and weekends off. Add up how many days you take off. Man, I meet people take 120, 130 days a year. No wonder you ain't got no money, man. Multiply that times 100, 200. How much would that be, man? Of course you ain't got no money. You're not working. That's the reality of this world, man. We need to find ways to leverage ourselves so that we make money when we're not working. So like when I wake up and Pepsi's giving me $100, thank you, right? That's a way to leverage yourself. So that's what stocks do. They leverage you. That's what real estate does. It leverages you so that you can make money. The only other way, listen, you got to own a business. I don't want employees. Personally, I don't want any. I have no interest in that. But that is the other path. You either own a business that makes a lot of money. I don't want to do that. Well, what is my only other choice? Stock market or real estate. It's real fucking simple. There is no others. The other is just paycheck, 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 man. That's not what we're trying to do. So this here is like what's on my mind. I had some people over the house yesterday, and I was like, he looked at the board. That's what? Me scribbling that day. So a lot of times I'm erasing this. I'm redoing it, man. I do it all the time. Quickly running through my charts, writing them up, looking. I'm not going to buy all these. I can't maneuver around all of these, but I'm trying to see what's going down. Oil stocks break out. Well, that tells me where 50 fucking stocks are. They're all breaking out. Conoco, Chevron, right? So as I go down this UTSL breaking out, want to add to TMF. Remember we were saying, where's that? What was TMF? TMF is the bonds, right? Look what's happening. Look what's happening. This is bonds. Bonds are breaking out. Bonds are breaking out. So what is the date on this? 12/26. Today's what? 1/8/23. So this is, what is this? This is like 10 days ago. So what are we doing? We watch this, man. I'm watching the pattern. Bonds are hugely undervalued, right? They're way under that thing. So as I'm watching this, stage one runs, stage three, literally right out of the money flow, one extreme to the next. We fully anticipate a stage being built. We got our apex point. We got our 4 bars. And then what? It turns down. Good. Now what am I looking for? The anchor, the box sideways, and then it's breaking out. So as I'm watching, like when this starts, I'm like, good, we need more bonds. Meaning I'm waiting for this thing to come down. I don't know how far it's going to go, right? I'm just following the pattern. And unfortunately, we didn't go lower. So we started adding yesterday, day before, and then now we're breaking out. I wish we'd have got a pull back further down where it had been before. That would be better for me and going up. Why? Because my time frame is years. Years. Fucking years on this. Years. That's the game plan on that. I'm building that up. So obviously that's not short-term trading, right? All right, man. I said I wasn't going to do it long today. I didn't even look at YouTube, so hopefully it was still functioning. Everybody can hear me. Let's see. Yeah, man, big shout out to the guys I met yesterday. Had a lot of fun. It's always great running into followers on the street, man. That's always a lot of fun. And to Jed, who made a special trip to come down here. That was a lot of fun getting to meet people. If you don't have my book, The Money Flow, man, go hit my bio link. You can grab it. If you need a place to trade, hit me up. It's easy to get my phone number. If you want to do a one-on-one, book a call with me, man. Be happy to help you. And like I said, Ket, if you're, hopefully we'll have that next episode up on Science of Getting Rich here today or tomorrow. And I got a podcast coming with me and Chris Johnson. I just got to do some editing to get it up. Chris is very elusive, hard to get him on the phone, but we did a 1-hour talk. We recorded it, and it was a lot of fun. You get to hear him tell a story how he met me, what I did for him, and then what he's done for me to help me, man. And I much appreciate it. You guys be good.